to this episode of Stuttering in Silence. I am Gavin Soden, and I'm joined by
Matthew Lepore.
And what are we going to be talking about today, Matt?
Conspiracy theories.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Well, I know I'm going to enjoy this, so I hope you guys enjoy it as well. And without further ado, let's sit back, relax, and jump right into it.
Gavin?
Perfect.
We are live.
Good to go.
Third episode here.
Yep.
And Area 51.
Area 51, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting topic to talk about today. But yeah, I don't know. What do you know about it?
Well, I know it's like the Bahamas. You get to enjoy the beaches and you're away from all police and military and right? No.
No.
Not even close.
Not even close.
As I understand it.
Yeah.
No, it's a military base in Nevada.
Right.
Eisenhower was the man, the myth, the legend. Helped create that along with Richard Nixon, which was his VP. What are some things that you've heard about?
Aliens.
Serious. How forward of you.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, it's where they keep the aliens, or maybe they don't keep the aliens there. I don't know.
So there is this one thing that I heard. I forget where I saw it. It might have been on YouTube. It might have been on probably on TikTok, but I need to delete that app. But I saw that there is a theory out there that it's like a portal. That what's on the other side is another dimension, like a multiverse or whatever it is.
Yeah, I heard that.
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I can understand if that was the case. I think that it could be. What would it be like though? Okay. So if Area 51 was like a portal to another dimension, right? Where would I feel like it would be more guarded though.
Well, I mean, isn't it guarded already?
Yeah,
I mean, look at the fact that what you said 2019, there was that.
Yeah, the people just rolled up and they were just like anime running.
Yeah, and they were like, we're gonna shoot you. We're gonna take.
Yeah, it was just like two guards were just chilling out there. They were like, yeah, hey, you can't come in. And they were like, really? And they're like, yeah.
But like, aren't there like snipers and like?
I don't know.
I'll have to look at this.
I don't think so.
But. You would think that, like...
Maybe.
Oh, there's got to be a lot.
I mean, there's probably, like, a bunch of stuff you don't see. Like, you know how the White House... Like, do you remember back, what was it, when Trump was in office? And they were like, we're going to storm the White House. Back in, like, 2020. Like, beginning of 2020. And then the White House was completely dark. And then they did, like, an infrared scan. And you saw, like, 50 lasers coming out of the White House.
What?
Yeah. Because there was an actual threat on the White House, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna attack the White House and get Trump out of there and whatever." And so then it was like that was when like COVID was really hitting and people were like really freaking out, and so they were like, "Yeah, well, this is what's gonna happen. You can't do that." And they were like, "We're gonna do it anyway." And then there was like, "Okay, well, good luck." And then the White House went dark, and people were like taking pictures, and they were like, this is what the president does when there's a crisis in the country. He just backs down, and he doesn't care, and so on and so forth. And then it was like, somebody took took the picture that somebody took, and they put they threw like an infrared filter or something on it. I don't know. And you just see like all these lasers coming out. I was like, yeah, you can run up if you want. But
yeah, no. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a military base, so
it's
got to have an insane amount of like military.
Well, let me ask you this: what do you think is going to happen? Like, what do you think if let's say it's true, like the conspiracy is true, or like there's aliens in there? Do you think that's where like they hold aliens, or is that where they like? Or maybe they're working with aliens?
Well, I know there's a theory that they are working with them, which also can help with that portal theory where maybe that's where they come from in different aspects of the galaxy or in a different aspect of different quote-unquote worlds or multiverses.
I mean, I don't know. So the hard part about it is like you can't say like, oh, Area 51 is or isn't a specific thing, because I don't know if anybody's actually like, if anybody that's like truly been there has actually like blown an actual like a whistle, you know what I mean, on it, because
Well, I mean, you have why am I blanking on it? Bob Lazar.
yeah,
He was with the big whistleblower with Element 115.
yeah,
He was just on Joe Rogan. That was.
yeah,
Did you listen to that?
no,
Oh,
not
boy.
listening to that yet. I don't know. I just think that like, I think Area 51 is kind of like, they kind of did like they kind of blew it up, like they kind of got into the people's like into the limelight, and I don't know if it's actually going to be a thing. Like I don't know if it's actually anything. It could just be a fake. It could just be a false.
Well, we do know it is a military base because that's where they were like testing like the U-2s and things like that with
Well, yeah,
Eisenhower because they needed a. The whole idea of the base was, it was at a civilian area.
yep,
It's 120 miles out there.
yep.
And then you have the fact that you can't really get spies out there.
I
It's in
guess.
Nevada.
That's true.
I mean, I guess you could get like a Russian spy or
You wanted to.
Cuban or a Chinese spy, but like, it's out there.
Well, yeah,
Not only do you have to pass the borders, you got to get through that entire. Like, I'm trying to see like what the security is, but like the fact that Eisenhower even set that up, and wasn't it just recently in the past like what 10, 20 years that you can see it on Google Maps,
yeah.
and now there has a little alien icon
No, it's
or
like its
whatever
own
words.
thing.
What?
Now, well, all right. So there was a theory that I saw where it was like they've been like having aliens there and working with aliens, and they've been helping us with like our like technology and so on and so forth. And my thing is like, I truly think that aliens like walk among us, I guess, and that's where they come from. Area 51. I do think there's a portal there.
I could see that, but there's also there was that it was the Tic Tac incident
Yeah.
of the Air Force pilots. They saw this thing in the water, right? I can't remember the gentleman's name. They were on Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
but they watched this aircraft under the water, and as it was
Oh, I know
coming
what
up,
you're talking about.
it flies up. And
Yeah.
the crazy thing about it was is all their technology in their jets were getting scrambled.
Yeah.
They couldn't do certain things. They couldn't track it, and it's flying at Mach Jesus.
Yeah.
And they're
Mach
like,
Jesus.
what propulsion is this? But then they're not seeing like
Propellers or jet stream or
yeah.
yeah.
So it's just things like that where it's like, where do those get tested?
That's true. I don't
'Cause
know.
but it just seems that it consistently is happening over that Nevada area,
Yeah.
and you can't get within like what 3-5 miles of it. There's that trail warning that like
Really?
you're entering into military space.
Yeah. Yeah, because yeah, I've seen that before. But then how did those people just roll? Because weren't they at, or were they at the gates of Area 51, or were they at that like?
They might have been. I didn't see that they got it. I figured they were going to get turned away, but I know that the military made a statement, or I guess the government made a statement that if there really was an attack, quote unquote, or an invasion of Area 51, that they were going to enact security for national reasons.
Know what that
So
means?
like national security reasons.
Yeah.
So like they were gonna get shot.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah,
they
were
were.
gonna get shot.
But that
sure.
was so interesting, and actually, oddly enough, that happened on my birthday,
Did it?
9/20, 2019. You know how excited
wow.
you know how excited I was to see that Facebook page. We're gonna storm Area 51. We're going for it. And then I was like, I wonder when this is gonna happen. My birthday.
Yeah.
But I thought it was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So what you're saying is you have insider information on the storming of Area 51.
That's crazy. Actually, this podcast is gonna end.
No, but yeah, I think that there's definitely some stuff going on there. I mean, there's got to be, but you look at all these movies, because like, okay, you know how like in movie, like everyone says like in movies they're like based on some kind of truth at some point. So like, look at like Men in Black. You get what I mean?
Have you seen those videos of them just showing up people's work?
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
one like
yeah.
reception lady, or I'm pretty sure she was in reception, and these two guys come walking in. And for those of you who have seen the movie Men in Black, it's like that, but they are like, no hair, no eyebrows, no
Yeah.
facial hair, probably no ball hair, honestly.
Yeah. Well, then they roll up, and there was like there was the one person talking about it, and they were like, yeah, like I'm looking at the security camera or whatever, and they just rolled up, and they were like talking to reception, and then like the reception like had no recollection of it or something, and it was just weird.
People's stories ended up changing.
I don't know if they I don't know. That's the thing with every like all these things is like you look at like area like 51 and everyone's forever it's been like, oh, it's aliens, there's this, that, and the other there's you know some stuff happening, and then you're like, but I just feel like I just feel like it would be different. Like I feel like I don't know. That's why it's so hard to like really wrap your mind around things, because like what if there are aliens among us? You know what I mean?
I really kind of hope there are. And then there's also that theory that the lizard people come from Area 51. For those of you who don't know what that theory is, I'm sure it's pretty widely known, and you know it's a bit of a knucklehead kind of conspiracy. But that the higher ups, the president, the House of Representatives, the Senate, a lot of those people, or even big actors, are
The lizard people.
lizard people.
Well, I definitely think that there could be. I mean, remember what happened with Hillary Clinton back in the 2016 election?
No.
So basically, she was like, you know, she was like doing a campaign, or she was campaigning in somewhere, and she went to she was doing a speech, and she went to take a cup, like a glass of water, like a drink of water,
Okay.
and she like coughed because she was coughing, and like she coughed, and like these like three like ball orb things came out of her mouth and like into the cup, and it was like, that's not like, it didn't look like phlegm, it didn't look like
Oh,
mucus.
really? I
It
didn't
was
see
like
this at all.
It was like, it looked like big marbles, kind of. It was like three balls that like came out, and they were like floating in the water, and then it was like, but I mean, I think more so with that kind of thing is like they probably have body doubles.
Oh well, have you seen that whole thing with like Joe Biden?
Oh yeah,
Um,
they found his body double. The people were like at a bar or something, or they were somewhere, and they were like, "You're not the real Joe," and he was just like walking around smiling, and it looked just like him. It looked just like him, and he was just like walking into like a car. And they're like, "You're not the real Joe Biden. You're his body double, huh?" And he just kept like smiling and waving.
Oh boy.
I don't know if that was real or not, but if it was, it'd be kind of insane.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a whole thing where they like freeze heads of state or heads of whatever.
Yeah.
In Area 51, and then you know you kind of have those body doubles or alien people. But like even look at like his like they had this whole thing with facial reconstruction and like his earlobes and things like that, which was huge, and like the spacing of his eyes.
Yeah.
And they're like, this was Biden back when he was with Obama.
Yep.
And now, but like, where would they test all this? The biggest place that they would have the facility to do it, and the area, the wherewithal, the secrecy, Area 51.
That's true. I think it could be. I mean, they probably go in there. It's maybe where all the celebrities are at that died. You know how they die suddenly? That's probably where they go. They just chill out in Area 51, get cloned, and you know what's crazy to me? Like, so if Area 51 has a cloning process, right? If you're a celebrity, why not clone yourself like 50 times and just live forever?
What?
Why not? I mean, think about it, right? Let's say you're a celebrity and the Illuminati. Let's say all that's true,
Yeah.
right? Like the Illuminati and demons and all run Hollywood and all this stuff, right? If you're a celebrity, why don't you just say, "Yo, just freeze me, just transfer my consciousness into this different body and just live forever."
I mean,
Or even if you couldn't transfer consciousness, just be like, "Yo, I just want my name to be a thing forever. I want to be famous forever."
I mean, do you really think those things are going to happen in there? I mean,
Probably.
there's definitely there has to be something, and I know they've come out with statements saying, "This isn't happening. It's just a military facility. You know, we're testing the latest and greatest technology for military
You
operations."
can't believe the government.
Well, I mean, it's also coming on. There's a lot of things that are happening where it's like, can I trust you? Can I not trust you? I mean, look at what's been going on in the
No.
House of Representatives right now.
You can't trust them.
Yeah, no. There's definitely something going on. Like I know, there's been talks of like alien autopsies. But the one was debunked way back then. I know back in like the mid '90s there was an autopsy of this like gray looking alien thing.
Yeah.
That was debunked. But there's like, you're telling me with all these sightings, all these happenings, that autopsies aren't happening. They're not looking into alien bodies, having any. It would be woefully idiotic to think that we are the only people out there.
Well, my thing is this: how can you, right? So this is my thing. I don't think you can be I don't think you can sit there and say, we're the only creatures, everything on this planet is the only thing out there in the universe
Yeah.
or in the galaxy or whatever, because that would be like saying, oh, I've never left my house. It's only me and my brother. The only people on this planet are me and my brother. You can't say it like you just. I don't think we have enough. I don't think we have enough comprehension or no. Okay, let me put it this way. I don't think we have enough knowledge about everything that we need to know to be able to understand it to really make a informative decision or a guess or whatever. Because think about it, right? This is the age of information, right? You have anything you want to know at this
anything.
touch of your fingertips, right? But it's censored, right? Like Google is censored, like it's been proven.
Well, that was the whole thing with you look like 4chan.
Yeah, well, no, it's censored. Like you look up something on Google, if it doesn't want to tell you, it won't. It'll just keep redirecting you to different things using keywords and stuff. And it's like if you look up like this conspiracy or that or this or that, like what's the truth behind this? It'll just give you random articles about random things involving that, and then it's like,
and then people turn to the Onion.
Yeah, and into DuckDuckGo.
Well, DuckDuckGo is really good. I've only used it a couple times myself, but. And that really pisses me off with the whole, you want to look up conspiracies about Area 51.
Yeah.
And you want to use, Tor.
Yeah.
You're using a VPN.
Yeah.
You're not using your own personal laptop. You have to have a crazy amount of just software just to keep yourself safe. There should be no reason to put that much risk. And then, not even that, if there was a lot more foresight on what's happening, you're going to catch people for child predators or whatever it is. And it's just...
But that's the thing. The government doesn't want to catch child predators. I don't think the government cares about us at all, to be completely honest with you.
Well, if they did, they would tell us what's going on there.
Yeah.
And that also does come to the thing was, well, we care about you. We want to keep you guys safe. We don't... this is just military installation. Don't worry about it. But...
Well, look at... What was that show? Stargate? Remember that show? Stargate SG-1?
Mm-mm.
Well, basically, it was a military base that's an actual military base in the side of a mountain, and they have a Stargate where it's it's literally an interdimensional portal, and they go and they fight aliens, and they have aliens on their on their team, and it's all that stuff, and it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know, man. I really feel like there's something. I don't know. I'm not saying there's an interdimensional portal, but there's definitely got to be something going on, I don't know, man. I just feel like there's just too much there. Like there's too much hoopla and hype behind it to not be anything.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that they keep saying it's a military installation. We're creating the latest and greatest, but you're also seeing different military bases across the country that are doing that.
Yeah.
You have actual scientists that are openly showing, hey, we're creating this here, nowhere near Nevada. So, if it is a military installation,
do you think it's like you could look at Area 51 and it's just one, because it's like a base, right?
Yeah.
But do you think it has an underground base?
Oh, 100%. I mean, isn't the Pentagon the same way?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it would make sense for it to be that big of a military installation.
So that's where that's where they keep the aliens.
Well, I mean, it would make sense. There is also a theory that aliens run certain parts of the floors.
Really?
Yeah. So there's different aspects of people saying, "Oh yeah, I would be coming down the 8th or whatever it is floor," and there would just be aliens wandering around, walking among them, or helping, or.
What if aliens could look like us? What if you if you think about it, right? What if an alien could just be like, "Yo, I'm gonna look like this," and they just do it?
I mean, it's...
Okay, let me ask you this. If there are aliens there, what kind of aliens do you think there are? Do you think it's like the ET aliens? Do you think it's like the Men in Black where there's so many different kinds of aliens? Do you think it's just...
I think they have a figure of us.
Mm-hmm.
My I guess I shouldn't believe, but I think they're either like asexual, right?
Okay.
And then you have like this gray looking bigger head, but then there's also different aspects of a theory that there's green aliens, gray aliens,
So you
and
you think that there's like they're the big black eyed, gray,
yeah,
long body, big head
yeah,
aliens.
asexual, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, it could be a possibility.
What do you think? Do you think they're like just like us?
No, I don't think they're just like us. But I mean, dude, okay. Can I blow your mind for a second?
Blow mine.
All right. So there's not. So, all right. So there's a theory that I saw a couple years ago, like a year ago,
Okay.
and the whole point behind it is what if God, right, providing that He exists, what if God, instead of messing with instead of saying like He's only going to create one human, like one planet for us. What are you doing?
Sorry.
You good?
I'm great.
All right.
I'm listening. I'm sorry.
What if there was one, instead of because think about it, if you're God, right?
Okay.
Why would you create one planet in a tiny solar system out of the entire universe?
That makes sense. Yeah.
So what if we are just like another clone, like another world, just another Earth, another humans, just another failed experiment?
Very possible. There's also
that's what aliens are. Aliens are the way we were supposed to be made, coming down and like visiting us, or like seeing what we could have been if they failed. We are His failure.
Or what if now there's also a theory that you look at kind of evolution, or you look at just
Do you believe in evolution?
so that's a tricky topic, because yes, if you look at something like an ape, we are like, it's like 99 point like,
Okay, but if we evolved from apes, how are there still apes?
it's a fantastic question. I love that I don't have my doctorate, so I can't.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, if you like, I don't know, I never understood that. Maybe I'm just dumb.
Well, okay, there is the Darwin theory of evolution, right?
Yeah.
That we came from
The
sea,
yeah.
we progressed into like this alligator forming looking thing. Now we're on land, and then so on and so on and so on to a monkey to it. Yeah, I get that, but there's also so many different aspects of You have people who have disorders who look just like an ape. You have I can't think of that. They're very primal humans. They look like they're from like caveman times. I can't think of
I don't know. I don't think we evolved. I don't think we were once cavemen. I think cavemen existed.
It's pretty. I wouldn't say. I don't want to say accepted because that might be wrong, but I know there's definitely a lot of theories out there and people talking that evolution didn't really happen the way we said it happened.
Yeah, I don't think we evolved from cavemen or from cephalopods or from whatever. I think that we humans were made, right, in some way or another, whether it be through God, whether it be through whatever. I don't know. I personally believe that it's through God. But that's just me. You don't have to agree with that.
I agree, yeah.
But I look at science like man trying to understand God's creation.
Sure.
And the reason that I kind of get away from science a lot of the time is because how many times do you see science going, this is a fact, and then 10 years down the line they go, we were wrong. This is now a fact.
Because it's the same aspect of anything else.
Well, no, but I'm saying like
you
only have a limited. We only have a limited amount of information.
Oh,
so,
and in terms of just Earth.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
We
like
are a small fraction.
That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, this is a fact.
Yeah.
The Earth is this big.
Yeah,
it moves this fast. There's this many people on the planet. But then a couple years go down the line, and they're like, oh, well, actually, this is this way because we got new information, so it's this, and this. That's why I don't take science serious. Like, not seriously, but I'm saying like, I'm not gonna sit there and go, oh, well, you're 100% right, because what is science? How do you provide what is it? How do you make a law or whatever? Like you have a hypothesis and then you conduct a experiment.
Oh, the scientific method.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you can't say like you can do test and test and test and test, and there obviously are things like if you throw something up, gravity is here, so it's going to fall down. Obviously.
Well, gravity's still only a theory.
Well,
we can get down that rabbit hole a different day.
yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know. I just don't think we evolved, and I think if we did evolve, or if people want to say that we evolved, I'm not saying that it's 100% incorrect because I don't know all the facts, but at the same time, it's like,
well, what if Area 51 had a bit of a leap into that? Now, obviously it wasn't there before, like Eisenhower. But I mean, think about the government programs, or even just okay. Let's look at something like Area 51, right?
Mm-hmm.
Advanced technology,
Yeah.
probably beyond what we understand or what we can comprehend. But then you look at something like the pyramids, right?
Right.
Now, we have no clue what kind of technology, what aspects they were using, or had.
I don't know how it was made.
Oh.
So what they did, right, was all the other people were like, yo, we got to make a foundation. And they were like, nah, we're not doing that. So they took the point, and they like have had that first. And then they just built under it.
So just some dude was just flying in the air.
No. Well, kind of like creative mode. No, but like he was like, we're going to build this point. So he had a ladder that was leaning on nothing, but it's a special kind of ladder. Okay. And then he put the top of the point. He just held it. Everyone else just built underneath of it. Kind of like a Christmas tree, but like in reverse. What do you think about that? I think.
Did you ever see Billy Madison?
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Remember when they're in the auditorium?
Yeah.
And Billy answers, and he goes, "This is the dumbest thing." Or what did he say? When he's awarding him no points.
Are you about to call me dumb?
No, I would never do that.
Are you about to call my point dumb? My hypothesis dumb?
No. I'm just saying.
Because I think that would be a mistake. Anyway, like I was saying, I think he built. I think they were built the same way you would think they were built. Oh, they're too big for people to move. They're too heavy. They're too crazy. They line up perfectly with the stars and this, that, and the other. It's like, yeah. So what? What's the alternative? Aliens just rolled up and were like, we're just going to build some pyramids.
I mean, maybe that's where we came from. Maybe.
What do you mean that's where we came from?
I mean, Area 51 could probably tell us more than we know now. But
well, you're going to go there? You going there on Saturday? Yeah. Roll it up.
Listen.
I don't know. Away. It frustrates me because it's like there's so many different people saying so many different things, and it's like nothing about when you really look at things, nothing makes sense. Like okay, for example, right? Space, it's always expanding, right?
Yes.
Okay. And we're a planet that's doing this, right?
Yes.
We're in a rotation.
Yes.
We're spinning up really fast, but we're also on an axis. Right? We're not completely up and down. We're kind of on an axis, right?
Yes.
We're still spinning. And then we're also rotating. We're spinning and we're rotating around the sun.
Yes.
And then all of these planets are hurtling through space.
Yes.
When it becomes nighttime, why don't the stars change?
Stars, there's no way they're in the same spot. Because we're still rotating.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you can't look at the sky.
But why do all stars look the same?
Because there's only a handful. How many types of stars are there? Only a handful, right?
I don't know.
Probably.
I'm not a starologist.
I don't think that's the word for that.
Well,
but
well, no, I'm saying like if you think about it, we have to at some point we would have to come in contact with something else, right?
Well, and that's the whole thing with Area 51 is like there's just so much secrecy behind it. Now, let me ask you a question. Their whole thing of it being so secret is we're keeping everyone safe. We're trying to stop mass panic.
Yeah.
Population control with panic. I think at this point, we can probably safely say that people will be okay with it. I mean, the Pentagon released, 2 things during the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
And everyone went, oh.
Cool.
Anyway. All right, cool. We watching the rest of
Modern Family.
What was that? The Tiger King?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, aliens are real? Oh,
cool.
The aircrafts are real? Pentagon said that? Oh, it's confirmed?
Cool. Anyway.
Cool. Well,
have you seen Tiger King,
Have you seen Tiger King, though?
Carol Baskin killed her husband.
She did it. Anyways.
Carol Baskin.
That was crazy, though. It's like they really just went and said, "Hey, it's real."
Yeah.
All you conspiracy tinfoil hat wearing people were all correct. And then what happens?
Don't even get me started on the tinfoil hat thing.
Why?
Because
Go
it's
down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
Do it.
It's so
Do it.
dumb. I hate it. I hate how people are like, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. You have to wear a tinfoil hat, and you're scared of everything, and you're anti-vaccinations, and you're this, that, and the other." I'm like, dude, that's like saying, oh, you wear an Eagles jersey because you're an Eagles fan. Oh, but you don't believe in any other team. You sound stupid. Like, yeah, I believe whatever I have as much information as I can gather on something, I believe in.
All right, well, can I bring this point up?
Okay.
About that whole conspiracy thing?
Yeah.
Now, if you were to be like, walk up to someone, like, yeah, I believe that, like, JFK was assassinated by the CIA, even though he was. Regardless,
Ooh,
different
that's
episode.
a hot take.
But someone would be like, oh, you're crazy. Like, you're a conspiracy theorist. And it's like, okay, you think I'm crazy. Why? Now, did you know the government, okay, has created a webpage on conspiracy theories in general, right?
Really?
Yes, it's a government-funded webpage. Now, in the court of law, how do you discredit a witness or a like a professional, right? You talk about how crazy they are, how their credentials don't matter, how they might have had a drug addiction or whatever, discrediting the person. So how do you discredit people who have theories or different aspects of ideas? You put misinformation out there, you make them look crazy.
Right.
So now when someone like, I know Alex Jones can be a little bit blasphemous with his whole what was that shooting?
The Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook, tragic, but things like that doesn't help his credibility. But
Yeah.
you have people like him who, have these ideas or have these facts that help him correlate different ideas to his theories.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have people just coming at him and saying this and saying that.
Well, because Alex Jones is he's more of a talking piece than he is an actual.
He is such a talking piece.
Like, I don't know, dude. I just feel like there's a difference. Like, he's good at what he does. And I do like him, and I believe in a lot of the stuff he says. But also at the same time, it's like, holy hell, like, you don't have to be so in your face about it.
Well, that can go kind of for anything, though.
I guess
that was a lot of the big thing with Trump. He's very in your face about a lot of things. So are a lot of people. And people might not like a lot of that aspects, but.
Well, my thing about Trump is, he wasn't just in your face. He was right primarily. So. Yeah,
well, that's definitely a different topic for a different episode. Yeah. But
no, getting back to Area 51, I think that if you were to go into there would be a bunch of stuff we wouldn't be able to understand, and I think that there would be nothing that we like. There wouldn't be.
Now, do you think we wouldn't understand it because it's out of the realm of understanding for what we're normal, for what we would consider normal, or do you think we would not understand it for in the terms of just the scientific aspect of it?
I'm going to try to answer this without going into another rabbit hole. I think that we are not able to possess the information necessary to understand what we would see in there because of the world governments. And
so it would be like trying to imagine a different color.
Yes.
Like a new color.
Yes.
Okay.
It'd be like trying to make up a new number. Like, you can't. It's impossible. It's because they already exist. What if, theoretically, okay, what if somebody just counted to like 1,000 or like 100?
Impossible. Can't do it.
And then people just kept it going.
What do you mean?
They just made up. Like, if you were just like, what if somebody one day was just like,
Wait,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, isn't that what language is in general?
Yeah, I guess. But then, like, when you get into the trillions, like if somebody were to count to a trillion, you get them in, and like the quintillions and the zillions and the quazillions and the batillions.
I think now you're making up numbers.
Whatever. But hey, how do you know? Maybe it's 16 times bigger than a billion. Is a quazillion. You don't know.
I think people do know.
You don't know. Nobody knows.
Google search.
Nope.
Oh, we're gonna get fact checked on that very fast.
Nope.
Oh yes.
Nope. It's not real.
But I do want to talk about Paul Bizarre, which is one of the biggest things of kind of Area 51 that. So he was the big whistleblower. He is obviously a conspiracy theorist who he said he was. Well, he claims to have been hired in the late 1980s. Now, the cool thing about him is people have fact checked him. People have looked into him, and they're like, "Holy cow! Like he really was there."
Yeah.
And he was one of the people that brought out the whole thing of Element 115. Now, the cool thing about that is no one's really heard of it.
So what is it?
So Element 115, kind of reading here. It's I don't know how to pronounce this. This Macovium. It's a radioactive synthetic element, which we know little of.
A radioactive?
Yeah. So it's how a lot of the whole theory is how these crafts, these people, they all kind of work their energy off of it. So back in it was synthesized in 2003 by a joint team of Russian and American scientists at the Joint Institute for Nuclear Research in I don't know how to pronounce that.
Dubai?
No. Dubna, Russia. So like the symbol is MC, atomic number. You're never gonna guess what it is.
6.
115. So close. You were so close.
I was close. I was only 90.
You were only like 109 off.
199 million off.
Not okay. All right. But yeah, it was discovered in 2003. So this is one of the big things that kind of came out, but he has been one of the people that has been heavily criticized as this whistleblower, and it has circulated so many other theories. I mean, he was on Joe Rogan for like 3 hours, and it's just absolutely insane to kind of think about that this person has not only worked with alien crafts or seen like these reactors with Element 115.
Right.
It's circulated. And it's been a lot of this stuff that he's been talking about has been confirmed. So it's kind of crazy to think about that just one person has been all these quote unquote tinfoil hat people look smart.
Yeah.
You know, and I think this is one of the things the government does get kind of afraid of, and people who, you know, are defending it or whatever it is. But Lazar really didn't have a lot of evidence, you know, kind of coming out just like supporters like his core claim of like alien technology.
Right.
But you know, a lot of stuff has been like analyzed, both accepted and rejected by a lot of people and skeptics. So, yeah, it's really kind of like insane to really look about how this man worked here. And the craziest thing is he wasn't even this like super genius,
Right.
originally.
He was just a regular guy.
Yeah, and then he started like learning code and things like that. So, he really is kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for?
A entrepreneur.
Nope. Or an anomaly.
He's a dude that we're just gonna say an entrepreneur. Anyway,
Not even close.
yeah, no. I personally think that no matter what you look up, but like if you looked up Area 51, if I'm the government, right, and I have aliens, and I don't want the people to know about the aliens, or I don't want there to be like mass hysteria or whatever. Why would I let you just like little Randy, 10-year-old Randy, just Area 51, let's look it up, and then find like everything he needed to know. Yeah, there's actually 17 different species of aliens here, and
well, that's where people like, you know, Lazar or any other whistleblowers kind of blows things up. Like, I mean, even before when he had his degree from like MIT, you know, he's learning an insane amount of knowledge, and then he's coming into this and he's like, what is going on here? Which is where that little Jimmy wants to look up stuff and is like, oh, is this real? And then sees him talking about it and then gets that confirmation.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can also say the same thing. Like, I can get on a microphone and start preaching about how, I don't know, science is fake, and do it every day. And then if little Jimmy looks up my thing,
that's true.
He's like, oh, that's real, because you know what I mean. That's the whole thing. It's all about censorship and what you see and what you're allowed to see. Because like, okay, for example, right here, right? What color is this cup?
White.
Why?
Because it's white.
Why?
Because it's white.
Why? Why do you know it's white?
Because it's white.
Okay, but I'm serious. Like, why do you know it's white? How do you know what color it is?
because in our dialogue and our color wheel,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I don't think it's a primary color. No, because that's what blue, yellow, and red, green, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get crap for that later. I
How
don't
do
know.
you know it's white?
I was taught in school that
Exactly.
is
You
the
were
color
taught that that was white.
wheel. Indeed.
But what if it's not called white? What if it's called something else?
Well, actually, funny you say that. When I was taking what cycle was it? It was abnormal psychology. We watched this video, or it was like one of the two. We learned about these different group of natives, right?
Right.
Now, if we look at blue
Yeah.
and red,
Okay.
primary colors, right?
Blue and red. Yep.
Blue and red, you would know they're blue and they're red.
Yes.
Right? You could distinguish them.
Yes.
Now, I'm not sure if there was the exact colors, but I'm just kind of paraphrasing here.
Okay.
They would look at them because in their culture, the blue and the red are in the same color wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you painted that wall red, and that wall blue, they'd be the same color to them. They would see no difference.
Really?
Yes, and that's one of the things that you go, why is that white? Because I was taught in our culture, in our language, it was
Okay.
white. And that's kind of the whole thing with Area 51. In our culture, in our language, secrecy, aliens, and all these things is what we're quote unquote taught, but we have no actual lesson to learn it from because the government keeps it from us.
So, well, yeah, but then it's like, but if you look at it that way, you can never put a definitive thing on it, though. Like you can't say like,
It's all a concept.
well, I understand, but I mean, theoretically, you can say almost anything as a concept. Then,
Yeah, I mean, look at the simple fact that gravity is still a theory.
well, yeah, but I mean, like, what if you can like, I don't know,
Nothing exists, Kevin.
we're in the Matrix.
We,
I don't know. Would it be crazy if if you went into area like 51, what if you walked in and like you went into a portal and you like walked into your old life? I'm gonna explain. What if like you walked in, right?
my brain.
What if you walked in, right? Hear me out. What if you walked in and you were
That's
like
his catchphrase,
and
by
you
the
were
way,
like 5-year-old, like you're like 5 years old or 10 years old. Same life, same parents, same everything, same you. And you had the knowledge of this world. So then you gained as much information as you could and you did everything you could and you went through school and everything. And then you came back here and made all your money. And then
Oh boy.
you could do that for whatever you want.
Well, I mean,
Like, what if you were able
what's
to
that
do
whole
that?
thing about like going into the light when you die?
Well, yeah. Well, there's there's that whole thing where it's like, what if the light you see is actually the light coming out of your mom's womb in another life, and the reason you're crying is because you know you died, and like you're going into another life, and nothing makes sense.
And then like before you're 6.
And then before you're like able to talk or whatever, your memories disappear. That's why deja vu is a thing, because in another life you had this exact same. Oh my God!
It's kind of terrifying.
Wait,
to think
I just
about.
had a thought.
Oh no.
What if we're on a loop? Think about it.
What do you mean?
What if we're on a loop?
Expand.
Okay, so what have we always heard throughout history? There's always a certain amount of people that say the world is going to end, right?
Sure. Like
always,
2012.
yeah, always people that are like, this the world's going to end in 2000, in 2012, in 1704. I don't know, like you know what I mean, like what, like that kind of thing, right? But what if we're on a loop, so that when you die, not immediately, but at another specific point in the time frame of our existence, we are born again, and then the reason that we have deja vu is because we've done the exact same thing in the exact same way with the exact same people.
Oh God.
Well,
Holy.
well, think about it. You ever have a dream, and then like, or like you ever do something, and you, like you feel like you wake up from a nap or you, in the morning or whatever, and you have a dream, and you kind of remember the dream, you remember the concept of the dream, but you don't really remember like remember what it was.
Sure.
And then a couple months down the line, something happens, and you're like, holy hell, that was what I dreamed about.
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen? How can I, like, if I were to say, okay, Matt, like if I had a dream that me and you were sitting here in these exact clothes, exact same position, exact everything, and then it happens. How is that possible? Because your brain doesn't. So what is like dreaming, right? Dreaming is just your brain going through your memories, right? Going through like the things that you saw throughout the day and like a weird collection kind of
Okay.
thing. That's why like if you fall asleep to scary movies, you'll have nightmares, and if you fall asleep to rainbows and sunshines, you'll have good dreams.
Yeah.
Well, how could that be a thing if I see you sitting here in that exact same shirt? You know what I mean? Like, and it happens like ten months late, down the line, it happens exactly the
Terrifying
same
to
way,
think about, though.
and you get deja vu. How is that a thing?
I
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's why it's so interesting. Um, that's why I think that like Area 51 is our. I think it might be a like a place where the elite or like I don't know, aliens maybe, they like tinker with our reality.
Well, I mean, there is a whole theory that they control the weather.
Well, I think that's true.
Really,
Yeah.
I definitely could see it.
I think they don't more so control the weather, though they like the weather, but they moderate the weather.
Well, didn't was it Russia or China that was moderating the weather to produce like a better outcome for crops or whatever it was? I thought I saw something. I don't know how legit this is, but there was this whole aspect of how they were controlling the weather or moderating it into a way that was better for like farmers and crops, and the overall health. Because even if you look in China, their air quality is poor.
Well, they have like the worst air. Don't they have the worst air quality in the world?
Yeah, and actually, fun fact, the whole thing with this like stop pollution,
Yeah.
America derives like less than 2%
Yeah.
of all the world's population, and we have the most I guess woke ideology
Yeah.
to better our environment, which we should be doing anyways.
Right.
But you have people like Russia, China, India, Saudi Arabia, especially,
Mm-hmm.
that are producing all that. But that's definitely
Yeah.
a different rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of like research that the government has put forth, like research projects and to like modify clouds and the weather, and this is like according to the National Science Foundation. But there's been a lot of things from the National Science Foundation that there's been no evidence of this research that took place at Area 51. So you have people who are finding information, looking through it,
Quote
quote unquote,
unquote, no evidence.
no evidence, and then quote unquote tinfoil hat people.
Yeah. Well, you know how like the term conspiracy theory was created, right?
No.
So the term was conspiracy theory was coined back in the 1960s to discredit anybody that had any theories that didn't align with the government's. So, for example, why would for example, a farmer, like farmers were finding UFOs in their crops and weird designs in their crops, or weird things were happening. They were reporting it to the news, the police, whatever. The government said, you know what? This isn't aligning with what we need right now. We don't need this, whatever. You're a conspiracy theorist. Why would anybody listen to you? You're crazy. And then the term stuck. And now it's almost like a badge of honor to be a conspiracy theorist rather than a.
You think so?
I think so, because I would rather be a conspiracy theorist, and believe in so many different possibilities rather than one like a taught a devout whatever atheist Christian whatever, and not believe in anything else, not believe there's a possibility that anything could be out there. I think it just makes my life more worth living in a way, because like if you think about it, right, if I were to say, Matt, God is real, and you're like, no, he's not, and we both stand firm in our convictions, and we both have experiences that differentiate from our experiences and what we believe in, yet we don't change our viewpoint, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like we have to. That's the whole point of living. You have experiences, and you live the rest of your life based off those experiences. You burn yourself when you're 5 years old. You learn real quick. Don't touch fire.
Yeah.
You cut yourself. You learn real quick. Don't grab sharp objects. You know. So if you're an atheist and you have a near death experience where something saves you or something contacts you or something, and then you look at it like that can't be real because I'm an atheist. Like, it doesn't make sense. That's like, that'd be like saying, whoa, what is that in the sky? Oh, that's a bird. That's not a bird. That can't be a bird because I'm not a bird. I'm a human.
Well, that also could just be different to like language and stuff as well. But
I guess. But I mean, like, think about it. Like, if you why would you not want to be a conspiracy theorist? What would be the benefit of not believing in multiple things?
Well, I think there's a benefit to any kind of free thinking, which I think there's getting less and less of nowadays because you have the people that are getting criticized for it. You have the tinfoil hat people. You have the people who won't aside the party lines, so they're not thinking as free as they should. And there's nothing wrong. The whole thing of the government is to be able to question your government. Power to the people opposed to power to the government. And which is kind of cool about like conspiracies is the fact that like you can kind of adapt to your own ideology and kind of allow yourself to, okay, maybe I'm going to question this Area 51 thing. Oh, why? For what reason am I not allowed to see it on Google Maps?
Yeah.
But now I can because it's been brought up.
Yeah.
Free thinkers are the biggest aspect of why conspiracies either like look at like Bohemian Grove or whatever it is, and that'll be different episodes.
Oh wait, let me ask you a question. Have you like, okay, this is gonna tie in. So where we are not allowed to go? Area 51, right?
Yes.
Not allowed to go there at all. 24-hour surveillance, airplanes circling, and 24/7 snipers, the whole nine, right?
Yeah.
What did you learn as a kid about Chernobyl?
That it was this Russian nuclear facility, like nuclear energy facility, that eroded and blew up, and there was all this radioactive material still happening today.
You can't go there, right?
No.
Well, that's wrong.
What?
That's incorrect. Starting the same year as the Chernobyl disaster, people were on site of Chernobyl, the facility.
Sure.
And starting from the 80s and through to today, you can go and tour the Chernobyl facility.
So are we catching a flight?
Yeah. So there's a whole thing about it. And what's funny, it was on TikTok, right?
Okay.
It was a whole video about it, right?
Oh, that app is amazing.
Then the video gets taken down within like 3 days.
Okay.
The whole thing was when we were kids, we learned you can't go there. You're not allowed to go there. It's too much radiation. It won't be done radiating until like 2050 or whatever, right? But that's not the case. It's just not true. So why would it? Why would they lie? Why would we be taught one thing? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, a lot of it also could be outdated to the fact that like when we learned it in school, okay, it's it's off limits or whatever it is, and then as it starts decaying, you have the half-lives of the radioactive material. Then you can start seeing it. I don't think they were trying to totally disband that because if there are tours, I'm sure there's going to be publicity because they make money from it.
Yeah, but there's not super public publicity on it. That's the thing.
To be fair, we do live in America.
Well, I mean, I'd rather.
You think that stops out of the marketing scheme for that, like the tours?
I doubt it. I mean, they probably make most of their money off tourists.
That's true.
But I don't know. It could be. I don't know. But I think this is the same way. Like, what if in 20 years they're like, "Hey, let's go tour Area 51." You know what I mean? And then like, it was all like, what? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know. That's why Area 51 is such a, because like, there's probably like military personnel that work there. They're like listening to all these conspiracies, and they're like, "Dude, I fucking wish something was like." Like, I sit here and look at a clock all day. I look at screens.
I mean, I'm sure in a lot of aspects, like if you look on the first floor, the second, whatever it is, depending if there are floors,
yeah,
there probably are people like that who don't get to experience like the whole aspect of Area 51. They might just be personnel that tested well on like an ASVAB or whatever it is, and they're like, all right, we need you stationed here. You have to work. You have to check people in, like just security. They're not going to see crazy stuff. They might see important heads of state or important heads of like the military, but they might not know everything. And I'm sure it's definitely compartmentalized.
Definitely.
But I'm looking here, like even like before World War II, the area known as Area 51 was just silver and lead mining.
Yeah.
But there's also the aspect of why were they mining there? Could they have been building for what we now know as Area 51? I'm sure, it's not going to happen within a year.
Well, no.
Is your home to showcase one of our new roofing styles or colors?
What is that?
What is that?
What was that?
Well,
I don't know.
roofing styles and colors.
Yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know.
Maybe it's the government just coming back.
Government's just like, hey,
this podcast has to stop.
shut up, shut up right now.
We were a silver and lead mining.
Yeah, well, that's all we do. Military.
But yeah, they took over the remote area and began conducting research, mostly relating to nuclear weapons testing. But yeah, no. One of the things that's really cool is like you can't get close. I forget how big the flying radius of it is, but there's warning signs everywhere, and that's all I'm seeing here. But like, yeah, the public, kind of you're talking about like Chernobyl, well, they can visit that. Can't come anywhere near this place. The public is like unable to visit the grounds, and they're constantly under guard. The closest visitors can get to the gates is for like a possible photo op, and there's no trespassing signs. Even the airplane above Area 51 is restricted, and you have to have specific information.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I was in the Civil Air Patrol back like sophomore year of high school,
In the
we
what?
were what?
In the what?
Civil Air Patrol.
Oh.
It's now an auxiliary to the Air Force.
What is that?
So those of you who don't know what it is, it's an auxiliary of the Air Force. It's just you learn how to drill, you wear BDUs and dress blues. You learn a lot of aspects of the Air Force, and you do get to learn how to fly. So when we were up in the Cessnas, we got a little too close to Limerick power plant. Power plant. Wow, not fire plant. Limerick power plant. And they were like, hey, you're coming way too close. You got to turn around. And we were probably, I don't know, mile or two. And they're like they're giving us warnings.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Ben was with me that day when we were doing our O flights, our orienteering flights.
Yeah.
And we were only a couple miles. Could you imagine how close you have to be? It's probably like 10 miles. I don't know what it is, but like I would not want to be in a plane going over Area 51.
No. All of a sudden, you just got like jets scrambled on you. Like, hey, you're gonna die, boy.
But like one of the most fascinating things too is I still think it's funny to kind of circle back to it is like the they can't stop all of us the Facebook thing with
and then there was like 20 people that showed up and they just stood there and did nothing.
Well, it turned into like a whole festival.
Yeah, but like
not outside of the base.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they rolled up and they were like standing there, and there was a video, and the guy was like, the security guard was like, yeah, so how you guys doing? And they're like, pretty good.
You want to get shot? No.
And the guy's like, yeah, pretty much. The guy's like, yeah, this all you brought. And the guy's like, yep. And then he's just like, we could just run in there. He's like, no, you're not running there.
No.
And then the guy starts anime running like in circles.
Oh, I didn't
like
see
Naruto
that.
running.
Jesus.
And he's just like, the guy's looking at him like, all right. I bet you the guy was thinking to himself like, can I shoot this guy just because? But yeah, it was not. I don't know. I just think like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna really storm? I remember when that first came out. I was like, dude, that's so dumb.
Well, over 2 million people responded to it.
Yeah, but then
and said they were going. I mean,
2 million people aren't going to Nevada.
There was a lot of people that were there, but it turned into a festival. That's what it turned into. Like that, the small town right outside of Area 51. I forget what it's called now.
I wonder why.
What do you mean?
Wonder why it turned into a festival.
No one's throwing Area
Maybe there was some government plants that organized it.
I hate you.
I don't know, man.
Hey, listen. I mean, I'm not going to discount that because I could see that.
Well, I mean, we already know that they did that with. They did the same exact thing with the storming of the Capitol.
What do you mean?
They had So the storming of the Capitol was presented as like Republicans and like conservatives storming
Yeah.
the Capitol, right? When in fact it was mostly comprised of Democrats or Democratic leaning people and Antifa
Was that
dressed up as like they wore like the MAGA hats and had the all the garb, and that's the people you see on camera.
Yeah,
and
no,
all that
I heard
stuff.
that theory. Is that confirmed?
Well, I mean, what makes more sense to you?
Well, I mean, both make a lot of sense.
Okay, so
I just
you're telling me, okay, that conservatives are going to storm the Capitol building because what is that? That's an emotional response to something, right?
That's also true. Yeah.
Hey, man, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on as long as you. I don't care if
And
you're
you know
a
what's-
Democrat or a Republican or conservative, but you can't sit there and say that the Democrats have done a good job or have been good for the country in the past decade.
Well, I mean, not to totally get sidetracked, but the Black Historical College Fund. Or
Oh, the funding.
Yeah, it went from like 45 or 42 billion down to like I think like 9 or 10. You can't quote me on that side, but
Yeah.
but
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. The government is all look here, and it's all what is it called? Like it's all like what is it called? Like the magic, like you put it into one hand, sleight of hand. It's all sleight of hand. You
now you
can't.
see me, now you don't.
Yeah, you can't. They tell you to look over here so they can do stuff over here. So if that's what I'm saying, that's what I said in the beginning. Like, what if they're telling you, oh, Area 51, spooky, 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 but then over here where nobody's gonna look, it's like that's where actually everything's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, man, if it's Area 51, is there Area 50? Is there Area 52? Is there Area 53? Because I'm sure there's other military
Well,
bases that we don't know, and apparently there's other islands that we're not allowed to know about.
well, no, there's islands on this planet that you're not allowed to go to.
I'm sure.
Like, there's islands that like if you try to go there, like you'll get killed by or like captured by like I don't know if it's like the Navy or I don't know or if it's like some special whatever. But I was looking up a thing about it a couple of years ago. Because I saw a video on YouTube about it, and it was like a thing where it's like you have to have a special like clearance to go to like you can't just take a boat and go to an island, like some of these specific islands because it's
Sure.
home to like nuclear facilities or nuclear weapons testings for different countries, and things along and like different random things like in the middle of the ocean. But I don't know if it's true or not, but I can see it. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I really would love to just kind of, just get like just one day, just like understand. Like, if I can figure out what actually happens there, I could die. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, if they were like, yo, you're gonna die, but you'll know everything, I'd be like, word.
You kind of say. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just a little bombastic to say, but there's just so much circulating.
Mr. Fantastic. Sorry.
Imagine if you ever go to Area 51 and that's the first thing you hear.
What if you sneak into Area 51, and then you're just like doing your thing? You're like, nobody saw me. I'm in there, and you just hear like you go to like floor 52 or whatever, and you're down there, you're looking through all the stuff, and you just hear, "Here comes the sun." Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Hey, Japan.
You're
Anyways,
dead.
but it really is kind of cool to see like all these like theories that kind of circulate around it, and especially the fact that you got 2 million people on a Facebook group
Yeah.
to
I bet you I can get 2 million people to talk about bread.
get 2 million people to do anything you want.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I just think
That's why
that
cults were invented.
I think that I don't know, man. Area 51 just doesn't. It's either it either is what it is or it isn't what everyone thinks it is, and I feel like it is, but possibility it couldn't be. But also, I mean, you got to look at too, like we were talking, like you hinted on the whole Bohemian Grove thing, you know.
Well, what about the whole thing with the moon landing being created on Area 51?
Listen, man, pick a rabbit hole, we'll go down it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Long story short, I think aliens exist, and I think that aliens are in Area 51, or at least tied to Area 51. You know why I believe in that?
Why?
Because why not?
It's also cool to think about too.
Why not? You know, Well, why not? Everything exists and nothing exists. You know?
What is it? Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah.
That's that experiment. The
Yeah.
cat is both dead and alive at the same time. What does Geo call it when he makes fun of me when I say things like that? Schaefer's cat, whatever it was. Oh God. Oh, we're friends. But yeah, no, it really does excite me to kind of like go over a lot of these theories, because I really just would love to be able to go in there one day and just kind of check it out, see what it's like, see what's popping, you know. Hey,
I like that.
What's up, bro? Just alien daps you up,
Dude, that'd be nuts. Like I wouldn't need
They
an
definitely
alien.
have to live
What if
with
we're
us.
aliens?
Well, I mean, there's also like the theory of of evolution, like the Darwin's theory of evolution, like the fact that it's not, like people say that like, it's not a thing, and that we're derived from aliens. We're either like a species that is supposed to be better or worse, but we haven't developed there yet mentally.
Right.
Because look at it this way, right? The whole theory that they're in Area 51 and that we coincide with them, different planet, or we came from them.
Right.
And we're supposedly better, but we have to develop to get to that point.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you just look in look at this aspect of people saying like we kind of come from aliens, right?
Yeah.
The first plane, right? The Wright brothers. Within 50 years, we were on the moon.
Okay.
We were on the moon,
Right.
right? I mean, allegedly, but but in 50 years we're on the moon. And if you look at things like that, right? There's that theory of the aliens that are in Area 51. We are a composite, or we're a generation of them, and developing ourselves. And they're either here, in places like Area 51 or wherever, to make sure we're on a track. So there is that theory, but then you also have things like free will, which people can't account for, which is kind of what we're seeing right now.
What if free will is just it doesn't exist? We just think it exists because we were told it exists.
That's also true.
Like what
Or
if
we're
we're just programmed to? Because like think about it, right? Why do you like some things that you like that might be like out there, like an out there opinion? Like, oh, I'm a guy and guys are supposed to be tough and blah blah blah, but I really like Hannah Montana. You know what I mean? Or like whatever. You know what I mean? Like why is there some things like that? Because I think you might be, if that was the case, you might be pre-programmed to be the person you are.
Yeah, just ones and zeros.
Have the interests you have, and everything is the same. But we're just told, hey, you can make up any decision that you want. You know.
And what if that came from Area 51? Well, I guess really not, because if it wasn't Eisenhower, he was with the 35th. I forget what president he was.
He was somewhere between 1 and 53.
Oh, Gavin.
What? How many presidents are there? 60?
No.
52?
46.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Trump was 45.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I guess I was thinking about Super Bowls. Oh, wow. It's going to be the 50. This year it's going to be Super Bowl 54.
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. Oh, yes, it does. Never mind.
You don't remember that whole thing?
I was going to say there's more Super Bowls than presidents, but I remember because there's only one new president every 4 to 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not every year.
Yeah. Well, you have someone like Obama who had 2 terms, or whoever had 2 terms.
Right.
So.
That's why I said 4 to 8.
I understand. 50.
Sorry, I don't know. I get confused easily. I'm tired, dude.
Yeah, it's been
a long day.
It's been definitely a long day. I was so close. He was 34th, not 35th. Great.
Do better.
I'll be teaching kids in about like a year.
Do better.
Do better, yes.
They're gonna listen to this podcast and be like, "Wow, our teacher is dumb." You can off by 1 number. Are you
First day of school. Were you talking about a conspiracy at Area 51? Wasn't me.
Wasn't me, bro.
Aren't you Matthew J. Laporte?
Do you want homework?
I'm calling your mom. Not my mom.
Go sit in the corner, Timmy.
Totally off track, but it is so funny how you watch kids nowadays. It's like, I'm gonna call your mom. Okay. Call it. You on my phone?
Yeah, you're not gonna answer.
Yeah.
She at work. That used to happen in my school.
Really?
Yeah, so it'd be like, I'm calling your parents. Okay.
Okay.
This one kid was like, they're like, I'm calling your, like, we're gonna go to the office. And I'm gonna call your parents, and he's like, okay. And then like found out like he lives with like his aunt because his parents both died. So yeah.
Well, maybe they're at Area 51. Who knows?
Wow. What if Tupac and like Biggie and all them were there?
How sick would that be? Or their like bodies are frozen. Or
Yeah.
We should do one on that about like.
We should definitely go there. Break in.
I don't think we can.
Not like break in, but I'm saying like go up to there and be like, hey guys, listen, I know that you're not letting just anybody walk in here, but we're not just anybody. We have a podcast.
Have you guys heard of Wawa? We can bring you some.
We can get you Wawa, guys.
Like on us. Like you don't have
Sheets?
to pay for nothing.
What do you want now? You know, we get you as many Wawa hoagies as you want.
Susie Joe Donuts?
$7 a hoagie. We're
Yeah,
good.
but guess what? You don't even have to pay us back. Just take us.
Yeah, bro. Let's go in there. Could you imagine if that worked? They're like, oh, okay.
Laugh in our face.
I know what we have to do.
What?
We have to write a letter with a box saying yes and a box saying no. And then we have to write a big arrow saying check the yes and asking to go to the Area 51 and send it
Who do we send that to?
Biden.
He will not understand.
That's the point. That's why we have the arrow saying sign here.
Oh, man.
he
That is
checks it,
smart.
And then he goes, yeah, come on, man.
Come on, man.
And he checks it, and then he sends it, and we're like, word.
We have written permission from the president.
Yeah. And then they're like, he didn't do this. Ask him to go on CNN.
Hey, come on, man.
Come on, man.
I said this to
you
kids
know
running a
the thing.
podcast. You know the
thing.
thing.
Well, they asked to go on the area, the area code, and I
Gavin,
was,
you're not making any sense right
I
now.
was when the kids rubbed down my legs, my hairy legs. What?
We're gonna fix true
Ice
international
cream.
I like chocolate chip.
Yeah, I like chocolate chip.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for a lot of these theories.
Yeah, Area 51 has a lot of different theories, but they all kind of make the same. You know, they're all pretty much the ssame thing. It's like whether there's aliens in there or not, whether it is what it is. But it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, and it's cool to kind of think about. But I think we've covered some other theories that we're definitely going to do.
We've
in the
definitely
future.
touched on some other theories that we're going to talk about later on in future episodes. But yeah, because there's so many different things you can talk about.
Yeah. So we're definitely gonna be doing this, and we're gonna be doing sports, obviously.
Yeah.
Movies, comic books, whatever it is, video games,
Yeah.
whatever we want to talk about, and then our theories. So sports and conspiracy theories are gonna be pretty set in stone.
Yeah.
But it looks like we have some digging to do.
Yeah.
Some theories to
Stuff
see.
to uncover. We can be like the Geraldo. Remember Geraldo, whatever, or just like Juan Geraldo or something. He was like a reporter from like the 80s and 90s, and he was the guy that was like, I'm going to uncover Al Capone's secret thing, like storage thing, and then he uncovered it, and he was like a big thing on 60 Minutes or whatever, and then like they opened the thing up, and there's like nothing in there. He was like a fraud, or like not like a fraud, but like I don't know. We could be like him, but better. We could be like Chris Hansen, but for conspiracy theories.
Hey, I'm Chris Hansen. Why don't you take a seat?
Just take a seat for me.
She said she was 12. People aren't gonna get that reference unless they're on TikTok. But
yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
I think that's it, guys. Yeah, tune in. Soon we'll have everything up. Hopefully we're on Spotify by now.
Yeah.
Check out our socials. It's on Instagram, Stuttering in Silence _ pod, right? Gavin, your Instagram is my name.
My name is _Gavin.
My name is _Gavin. I'm Matthew J. Lepore.
Yeah.
And yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the podcast for as sporadic as our brains can get, and we'll see you next time.